Hi, I'm Sar and welcome to another Sign of Life episode. In this video, I'd like to talk about satisfaction. The Rolling Stones hit I Can't Get No Satisfaction was released almost 55 years ago, but it seems as relevant today as it ever was. We live in a world that lacks satisfaction. If you have a good job, then it's not paying well enough. If you went on a vacation, then it was too short. If you have a YouTube video with 10,000 views, then it's just not enough. It's never quite enough. Things have changed because 10 or 20 years ago, people were quite happy to go on a vacation once a year and go to a restaurant or a movie maybe once a month. Today, we feel bad if we don't go out once every weekend or if we don't go on a weekend getaway once every few months. Many people suggest that it's because we constantly feel like we're missing out, like there's always something better to do or somewhere better to be. And FOMO, fear of missing out, is a term that's been slightly overused recently. And I feel that by talking about it even more, we're just getting distracted from the actual problem. The truth is, satisfaction depends on expectations. Look, I'm not trying to say that setting a high bar for yourself is a bad thing. It can push you to work harder and achieve great things. But it can also do the opposite. If you don't live up to your own expectations, it will bring you down. The real problem isn't with how high our expectations were set. It's about who sets them in the first place. I mean, who decides what getting paid well actually means? Who decides how many vacations I need to go on every year? And who decides whether 10,000 views on YouTube is a lot or not? Here's the thing. We tend to set our expectations in life relatively. We look at others, we compare ourselves to others, and then we set our expectations accordingly. Surely, if you live in a poor country where the majority of people earn $1 a day, you'd feel extremely satisfied if you earned $100 a day. And that is exactly the issue. That's why we can get no satisfaction. We rarely, if ever, compare ourselves to ourselves. We simply judge ourselves in the eye of others, and that's not only wrong, it's toxic. Because by doing so, we immediately crave for their validation. And if you think about it, external validation seems to play a key part in all of our lives today. The number of likes, shares, comments, or followers we have seems to be the main factor when it comes to our mood or our self-belief. And the reason why we're so addicted to this narcotic validation drug is because it's the only way we ever feel somewhat fulfilled, as if our lives are finally worth living. After all, we are wired to feel satisfied and fulfilled. And if you identify with what I said so far, then I want you to know that you're not alone. Hundreds of millions of people from all over the world share these feelings. We all want to feel something, to become someone, to grow and to blossom, but we just don't know how. It's because we were never taught how to find our place in the world. We were never given the tools to develop our self-belief. But let me try and ease your pain by saying this. It's okay. It really is. It's okay to have more questions than answers. It is okay not to have all the tools. Even though it feels that way, we aren't really lost. We're just incomplete. But we have to ask ourselves, what's next? Eventually, we need to live our own individual lives, a life that is based on our passions, our values, and our own expectations, a life that requires nothing but self-validation. Once we're able to compare ourselves to our past selves, we can see how far we've come and define where we want to go next. Look, there's no doubt, it takes courage to follow your own journey. That's why we often choose not to, trying to stay distracted by going on yet another vacation or spending a few hours on Instagram. But at the end of the day, we must realize that we all have a choice. It's either we choose to follow our own journey or someone else's. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to hear from you. Do you ever feel satisfied in your life? And if so, when and how? Comment below to let me know. You can click here if you want to watch more Sign of Life episodes, and don't forget, it's never too late to fulfill yourself.